Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. So we're going to start in between his eyes, and I'm going to start with a short little line that goes horizontal. And this will basically cross between the two eyes. In between this line, I'm just going to draw a short line that goes straight up, and on either side, I'm going to draw two shorter lines that go straight up. Okay, from here, I'm going to draw the right eyebrow. So going from this point, up at an angle, and then straight across. And on the end here, I'm just going to do a diagonal line going up, and then this basically gets tapered to the point right here. So I'm going to go up, tapering out, and then going straight across to meet that point. And I'll go ahead and color that line in black. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same thing on the left side here. So going up to right about the same height as here. So I'll start up here and come straight down, going across the bottom of the eyebrow, and again going up in an angle, across, and then tapering to that point. And then I'll go ahead and color that in. Now if you find that some of your lines are a little bit thicker than the other, and they're not balanced out, you can always go back in and just color outside, just to make sure it balances out. Okay, from here I'm going to draw the pupils. So below here I'm going to draw the bottom half of the right pupil. So doing almost like an oval shape, and coloring that in black. And then at the exact same point on the left side here, I'm just going to move in from the center and draw the other pupil. And then from here, I'm going to draw two little lines. So from here on the inside of that pupil, I'm just going to draw a little line that comes down. And same on the left side here. And on the outside of the eyes, right about here, I want to make the whites of the eyes pretty big. So I'm going to come out and draw a curve that goes down. I'm going to go to the right side and draw the exact same shape so I can get some balance, make sure that I'm balancing the left and the right. And then in the bottom here, I'm just going to draw an upward curve that goes in towards center, but leaving a gap in the middle. I'll do the same thing on the right side. And from here, I'm just going to go to the center here and just draw the nose. So just down below, between the eyes here, I'm just going to draw a vertical line. And then here, I'm just going to cross it like a T. And then draw a point going towards the center, kind of like that. And then from here, I'm going to join this point to the top point with sort of a curve that goes upwards. Right? And from here, just below this nose, I'm going to draw a curve like so for the mouth, and then a short little line underneath for the bottom of the lip. Now he's got some little scuff marks on the cheeks, so what you can do is just go in sort of an angle, starting from the middle and going out with three little lines. Okay? And on the left side here, I'll do the same thing, but because I'm right-handed, I'm going to work my way backwards. And then below this mouth, I'm going to put a point for the chin. So he's got a pretty short chin. And I'm going to come out to the side of the head. So the head, it's pretty narrow. So from the edge of the eye to the side of the head, it's pretty narrow. So I'm going to start on the left side here, start where the eyebrow is, and come down in an angle. I'm going to go down on the angle on the right side as well, coming down to the same point. And now I'm going to connect these 2 points to the chin. But as I do that, I'm going to round out the jaw. So round out the jaw a little bit on both sides, aiming towards that center. Basically come in at a straight line, and before I hit that point, I'm going to stop, because this is where I'm going to want to round out the bottom of the chin, kind of like that. Now let's start with, go up to the hair. So up here, I'm going to start where the center of the head, the hair goes up to the head. So right about here, I'll draw a point. Now this is where sort of the hair sort of part from. From this point, I'm going to go down towards the eyes with a curve, and go straight up in an angle, and then curve back up. Now I'm going to go to the right side and do a curve in the opposite direction, go up in an angle, and then curve back up. From here, I'm going to curve down into that eyebrow, I'm going to go up, and then now I can finish the side of the head with a curve that meets up with that point. Here on the right side, I'm just going to curve around that eyebrow, go up, and then back down to meet the side of that head. Now if I'm going a little bit too fast, you could always pause the video, rewind if you like, and then play again. And from here, sort of center of the eyes, this is where sort of the ears start. So from here, center of the eye, I'm going to curve out. I'm going to do the same on the right side. And you can see I'm going back left and right, just to make sure I'm balancing out the composition. From this point, I'm going to curve down. I'll curve down on the right side. I'm going to come down in an angle on both sides. And then from here, I'm just going to curl in and tuck that into the side of the head. Now for the ear details, pretty simple. You want to start at the top and just kind of work your way around the inside of that ear. And come up on the inside. And then up here, I'm just going to do an overlap that just curves in. I'll do that again on the right side here. So going around the outer edge of that ear, or the inner edge of that ear, then coming up and then a little bit here, and then going up, and then just doing overlap and just curling that back down. So that's just a very basic ear. Now for the hair, it's got a pretty big set of hair. So on the side of the ear, I'm just going to kind of work my way around the head. So here, I'm just going to flare out a curve. Now, it's important when you're doing the hair that you want to sort of step back and just sort of visualize how big the hair is going to be. So the hair, kind of want it to come up to about here. It'll come up sort of big on the sides. So just having a sort of point of reference as to how high the hair is going to be. So from this point, I'm going to curve up and angle back in. Okay? And from this point, I'm going to angle out and curve it. So his hair is sort of a series of straights and curves. And from this point, I'm going to curve up and then curve in. Now, the point where I want to make sure that I'm not going past is sort of around here. So from this point, I'm going to curve out, curve up. Now, this is where I kind of come in towards the egg-shaped top and curve in. Okay, now from here, I know that the top of the head is sort of around here, so I'm going to go up to the middle point and come back down on the other side. And from here, you sort of got like a little bit of sort of a hair piece that comes up this way and back down to the part in the head. And then from here, kind of comes out and back in. And this is the side that it sort of rounds out. So it rounds out up to the ear. So I'm just going to visualize this line that curves around. But as I go, he's got these little pieces that stick out. So I'm going to visualize a curve. And I'm just going to do two little pieces that stick out like that. And then that tucks in behind that ear like so. Okay, now it's got some hair in the back, but before I do that, I like to draw the things that are drawn in front first before going to the background. So let's draw on his scarf. So his scarf is quite big, so I'm just, again, visualizing how big I want the scarf to be, just by moving my pen around. Under this ear, I'm just going to draw a curve. And then on the right ear, I'm going to draw the same thing in the opposite direction. And then I'm just going to overlap. I'm curving a line around. So again, like what I was doing, I was just trying to measure out how big the scarf is going to be. Under this curve here, I'm just going to do an overlap and draw another wrinkle. I'm going to go back up and draw a curve that comes around. Now that I have the scarf sort of shaped out, I'm going to go back up here and just finish this off by doing an overlap into that line. Alright, now from here, I can draw on the back edges of his hair. So he's got two little tufts of hair that stick out. So curving a line out on the left side and tucking that behind that scarf. On the right side, I'll do the same thing. Let's get into the vest. So the vest is basically a short sleeve. So here I'm going to angle a line down on both sides from the scarf. Very short lines. From here, I'm going to round out the sides for the sleeves. And then from here, I'm going to do an overlap and just come straight down in an angle on both sides. Okay, so they sort of flares out. From this point, I'm going to curl in. And I'll curl in on the right side as well. And from here, there's sort of a saggy part of the vest. So here I'm going to do an overlap. So coming down and then back up again. And here I can just kind of clean it up by drawing in that end. So there's this vest. And then for the belt, I'm going to come in on either side and draw two short lines that come down. And from here, all I have to do is draw an upward curve that connects the 2 points. Alright, and from here, I'm going to draw a line down the center of his pants. Okay, so this will be basically, left and right will be basically mirrored. So from here, I'm going to draw a curve. So below this line, I'm just going to draw a curve that kind of angles like that. And then from here on either side, I'm just going to draw two curves that angle out. These are for the wrinkles of his pants. For the inside, so I'm going to go into the inside of the pant and then work my way around to the outside. So here, everything that I do on the left is going to happen on the right. So here, draw a curve in on either side. And from here, I'm going to curve in the opposite direction. It's two big curves. And from here, I'm going to step in a little bit and draw another curve. And then from here, I'm going to curve around to the bottom of the pant. Now, I just want to make sure that I match up to that point. So here on the left side, I'm going to start where the belt is, this point of the belt, and work my way around to meet up with that point, like so. Do the same thing on this side. So work my way around, making sure that I've got the same size on the left as I do on the right. And then finally we'll go into the feet. So the back of the heel is basically here. So I'll draw 2 lines that come straight down on either leg. Here I'm going to curve up for the heel, come down in an angle slightly, and then I'll curve up towards the toe on both sides. And simply all I need to do is take this point and do an upward curve into that foot, or into that leg on both sides, and then draw 2 sort of hash marks just for the tops of the foot. Let's get into the arms. So before I draw the arms, I'm going to draw the fist because I'm going to have them sort of in a fist pose. So I'll draw some simple fists. So here, I'm going to imagine the arm comes down to the elbow and then out towards the fist. So he's got these big blocky fists. So here, I'll start with an angle that kind of looks like that. I'll angle out. So I want to create a 90-degree angle. So it's something that's square, it's a 90-degree angle. From here, I'm going to curve out. And from here, I'm just going to do a slight curve that connects those 2 points. And I'm going to split this into 4 parts by drawing 3 lines. So in the middle here, I'm going to draw a straight line to split it into 2. And then all I need to do is split each side into 2. And that's a simple fist. And then for the thumb, I'll step in a little bit here, draw a straight line out, come down towards that center point, and then just finish off with a straight line. And then inside here I can just draw a nail, so drawing a 3-sided square. And then from the from the thumb, I'm going to wrap around to the outside of the fist. This will be for the wristband, like so. And from here, at the same point, I'm going to curve in through the elbow. From this point, I'm going to draw the bicep, and then curve out underneath that vest, that sleeve, for the shoulder. And from this point, I just have to draw a straight line up, and tuck that right into that armpit. Let's do the same thing on this side. So again, I'm going to try to balance out the height, so making sure that this point is the same on this side. So I'll draw a point there as a frame of reference, going straight out. I'll do a straight knuckle here, and then again on the back side here is curved, and then the top is a little bit curved. And again, splitting that fist into 2, and then splitting each one into 2. And again, stepping down here to the thumb, and drawing just the nail simply like that. And then up here, draw the wristband that wraps all the way around. And again, drawing the separation for the elbow, drawing the bicep, and then the shoulder that tucks in, and then finally coming up towards the elbow, and then tuck that into the armpit. And I think that's it. There we have it. There's Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please share it with your friends, give us a like, and we'll see you again soon.